say, God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
It's the world's fastest half mile, the concrete surface in Tennessee. And here tonight, it's for bragging rights and a prize at the end. The All-Star event, here tonight, live from the Virtual Bristol Motor Speedway, it's QSR Xfinity Series. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, producing here tonight. And then alongside me, back in the booth, we have Jake Reeves, commentary here on point from Bristol. What a place to have the All-Star event. 160,000 seats. It's a gymnasium with cars in it, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Bradley, it really is. I mean, if you can't have an All-Star race at Charlotte, this is the place to do it right here. I mean, obviously,
no
the
doubt.
Great Coliseum, half-mile concrete oval, if you will. This is short track racing excitement at its best. And it's awesome to see that QSR had this for their All-Star race. There you see all the cool things to see. Check out the banking right here, folks. 30 degrees here in these turns, 5 degrees on the front and back. But that 30 degrees, folks, that's about how much you would see at Daytona, where they go 200 miles an hour. Not what they're going to do tonight, but these corners are straight up bank, but all but get out. And you're going to see a lot of guys try to use the bottom, see guys try to use the top. Obviously, guys going to be trying to pass on the top side, but try to save your tires on the bottom. But Bradley, we were talking about this beforehand. There's a little bit of beef going on out there with some of the guys out there here in the QSR Xfinity Series. Some of those guys being Kevin West in the #1 car, along with other guys like Ronnie Joyner, Daniel Molnix, all those guys over at Venom. So there's been a couple of shout outs that I've been checking out here lately. Obviously, I do follow Kevin West on TikTok, and he's put out a video basically trying to give a shout out, I guess you could say, to Venom Motorsports. Well, granted, it's not a good shout out.
It's a call out.
yeah. I mean, it's a straight up call out is what it is. And the bad part about it is you throw that call out, which that was last week at Kentucky, which I wasn't here. But then you throw that call out there and come to the All-Star race at Bristol, a short track where there's always chaos and beef. I mean, that might not be in the best interest for Kevin West.
150 laps here tonight and a single pit road, 4 tire sets available. They will have 1 fast repair in the pits. So if you tank it here on lap 5, we were talking to a few drivers. If you lose it there right at the beginning of the race, well, you have an opportunity to come back down and get a fresh car off the trailer, off the hauler. But here tonight, the beef, I mean, let's put this in perspective. Bristol's a hard place. If you have a problem with a guy, it's a really hard place to escape.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, if you end up, I mean, you look back at the NASCAR Cup Series race earlier on this year, just how hard it is to try to get away from people and try to escape everybody else's chaos. I mean, this track, I mean, obviously I talked about Daytona a while ago, or even Talladega for that matter, with the turns as banked as they are at those super speedways. Obviously, it's not as wide as those racetracks. And I mean, you've got two walls surrounding you the whole time. You got the inside wall, the outside wall, and you really got nowhere to go. So if all hell ends up breaking loose in front of you, your best bet is just to try to stop and pray, and literally pray that nobody's behind you. Because if there is somebody behind you, they're going to shove you straight into the wreck. And I mean, Bradley, you know as well as I do, we've seen a lot of big ones happen here at this short track. And granted, there's about 18 guys out there. I got a feeling 18 cars, we can still see a pileup.
Well, and self-cleaning banking on the front stretch and back straightaway, similar to Dover, where these cars, once they get low on speed, will come back down the racetrack, and you go low to avoid it. Very good possibility that you're going to end up in someone's door. Quick look at the points here. This is based off of last week. Again, tonight, not a points battle, but there's Daniel Molnix leading coming into tonight, and he'll be your leader when we go to Darlington next week. 15 points ahead of Dirk Likes, and you know that trash talk back there. 2 wins for Kevin West. He's the only multi-time winner in this league so far. Sitting back in 15th, he has not made every single race. However, he is up into the top 15, so if there was a way to trash talk, I think statistics do most of your talking when you come to points races.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100% on that. I mean, obviously, you want to be, trying to pull, I guess you could say, that trash talk, obviously leading, like you said, everybody else as far as wins this season. But you look at where he's at in the points. Granted, he hasn't ran all the races. Matter of fact, I went and looked at the stats. I think he's only ran 3 races this season, and he's won 2 of them. So I'm not sure where he was at the other races. Is what it is, however you want to look at it. But still, you can trash talk with the wins, but the points, that's going to be the big key later on. He's going to have a huge gap. I mean, there you see him right there, 112 points all the way up to Daniel Molnix, about 100 points back. So he's going to have to show up here for the next couple of weeks if he wants to have any shot at really wanting to put some trash talk on this Venom Motorsports guys that's up here at the front.
Well, now it's set track side. Let's take you down there and get your grid up on the screen. Some drivers electing not to pit, but here, starting on your pole tonight, it's Brent Allen in the number 13, a 14.723. The guy talking all that smack, Kevin West, he's going to start outside the pole, just shy of the pole by a 1,000th of a second. He'll start in second position. Row number 2 belongs to Daniel Molnix. Derek McMurtry is going to start in the 4th position. And then row number 3 belongs to Stephen Mago, and Galen Lunch in the 6th position. 7th spot, Trenton Wilkin with Ronnie Joyner in 8th. And rounding out your top 10 tonight, it's going to be Quentin Stewart and Joseph Terciano.
And you got Mike Petrin back here in P11 right beside him. He's got another Venom Motorsports teammate in the form of the 54 of Frank Walsh. Right behind them, Spencer Johnson going to start right behind them. And Jeremy Burns, he's the first driver to not put down a qualifying time. The rest of the field, Morgan Cook, your Vspeed helper out there, I guess teammate if you want to put it that way. He's back there along with Reed Sanders, Clay Nelson, and Austin Dowdy. All those drivers did not put a time down. Bradley, we are getting ready to duke it out here on the half-mile track here at Bristol.
I'm excited. This is the one event that I've looked forward to all season long to see how these guys handle the short track tempers. A lot of these guys get along pretty well, but you're going to put a lot of strain on those relationships after tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you really are. I mean, that's what you're going to have to do. And the bad part is you got teammates that's out there on the racetrack, even, with the rivals, even friends. You got teammates out there. Teammates, I mean, it doesn't matter what you end up doing. Sooner or later, teammates is going to end up running into one another, and it's a possibility that can happen here tonight at Bristol, with teammates getting into it, maybe doing a little bit of door banging, maybe a little bumper pushing, however you want to look at it. But here we go, Bradley. They're coming off turn 4. I think we're ready to go for some green flag racing.
Pace car out of the way. Into the restart zone for the first time tonight. Green flag is out. It's Brent Allen into turn 1 for the All-Star race.
Round and round and round we go. Where they're gonna stop, nobody knows. Shout out to Brad Arnold from 3 doors down. And how about this, Brent Allen? He's gonna get out to a pretty good lead. Already jumps out.
Oh,
how about this? We got a sideways back there in the back.
Oh, and the 40, I didn't see who that was. The 4 gets a bad piece of it as well. But a couple different drivers getting a piece, and that was Stephen Mago. 83 car gets tackled into turn 2. Pace car comes out on lap number 3.
Yeah, and I think Steven basically just kind of lost the back end of the car right there, Bradley. I mean, that's normal here with these Xfinity cars. You check it out right here on the instant replay. It just comes off of turn 4, and I mean, just back end just kind of steps out. Everybody else trying to figure out how to get around. Couple of them. Wow, Ronnie Joyner almost got into that. Out of that, or that might have been Frank Walsh in the 54. But holy hell, that could have been very, very big right there for a lot of drivers. And a couple others also got into it. I know the 4 of Reed Sanders got into it, as well as obviously Steven as well. Spencer Johnson got in it as well. A bunch of guys. And Bradley, we was talking about this. One faster pair. The bad part is there's already about 3 drivers right there that's already going to have to burn that faster pair basically before the race really even started.
Yeah, locked him up here on lap number 3, and you can see the 83 tries to lock it up. Oh, it gets ran into the back of here for Morgan Cook, so he gets a piece of it as well. I think his damage pretty minimal. He could probably save that faster pair in his back pocket, as you see some of these guys coming down pit road to get that damage repaired. But already the tempers, I mean, this is going to be the testament. How long can you survive this pacing? Do you get that kind of anxiety? You get anxious as the race progresses. You know that you're running out of laps to gain spots, and it's just going to be a matter of being patient. You know, if you're Brent Allen right now, don't get tunnel vision. Don't get confused or hypnotized out here behind this pace car, because when that green flag drops, there's going to be somebody right there to take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got 3 hungry guys right behind him. Obviously, Kevin West, Daniel Monix, and Derek McMurtry. All 3 of those guys right behind him. Those 3 guys, not West, but Monix and McMurtry, both of those guys up inside the top 5 here in the points for the QSR Xfinity Series. So both of those guys really wanting to try to get it going, get up here, get some laps, get some extra points. But, you know, Bradley, I look at this track as far as for these drivers. I basically look at this race as basically like a Daytona or a Talladega, which is survival. And that's just trying to be there at the end. Long race, 150 laps here in this race. So you want to be able to try to make it as far as you possibly can. Who's going to go the longest before they end up having to burn that faster pair? I mean, you already got about 3 of them that's already had to burn that faster pair. We talked about that just a second ago, but it's all going to be about a war of attrition. Who's going to make it the longest? Who's going to be able to survive all the chaos that I got a feeling we're going to end up seeing here tonight.
So a note from the race stewards, if they have back-to-back cautions here, believe it alleviate on about 5 laps. They will go single file on these restarts if they have too many continuous cautions. So keep that in mind here if you see these guys not doubling up on this next restart. If we have another yellow. But Brent Allen still maintaining the lead. Kevin West on the outside. The top 4 have not changed. Trenton Wilkin picked up 2 spots there in that short little stint. He'll start back here in 5th position. Pace car going to get out of the way. Let's go back. Green flag in racing. Let's try this again. Jake.
Yeah, let's see what we got. Green flags in the air. Brent Allen down on the bottom. Kevin West trying to work this top side and carry some momentum. Allen gets loose down on the bottom side. Here comes Kevin West on the top side. Slides all the way up. Tries to diamond the corner and able to get the run. Now Allen trying to put the block on Monix. Now Allen goes way up the racetrack. Here comes Monix as Kevin West trying to scamper and get away as the field tries to reel him in.
That was the thing I talked about during that caution. Don't get hypnotized because the guy's going to make a move on you right on this restart. And with these fresh tires, this is the moment. You have to smoke them if you got them. It's one of those, take it to the bottom of the racetrack, save as much as you can. 13 stuck on the outside. He's going to get a good run. Yellow flag is out. Looks like the 48, Derek McMurtry, having some problems.
Yeah, unfortunate to see right there for Derek McMurtry. Bet it was probably about the same exact thing that happened just a little bit ago with Steven. Honestly, I think it probably was the same exact thing. Actually, he might have got a little bit of help, and the bad part about that is you look at who was behind him. I'm looking back at it. No, he was already loose. He's already loose. The 12 never touches him in the back end. McMurtry was already going around. There you see everybody else going around, but Derek able to keep the car in one piece. Doesn't look like anything is tore up on the car, but he was already sideways before Trenton was even to get to his back bumper. That's one thing you got to be very careful with. Obviously, Galen Watch got into the back of him just a little bit and ended up helping him go around. But that's one thing these guys are really going to have to be careful with is coming out of the corners. These cars can get loose. And then if you end up getting on the brakes a little bit too much, that back end can step out on you. Going into the corner, it can make the car very, very light, make the back end want to try to come around. And that's exactly what we saw right there with Derek McMurtry. Basically opposite of what happened to Stephen McGowan just a while ago.
So that sets up the second caution of the night. 13 laps into the race so far. Paying attention here to what Kevin West and what you were talking about in the pre-race already comes out and takes away the lead from your pole sitter, Brent Allen. And of course, not a points day, but this is kind of could be a staple for the bragging rights. And, you know, Kevin not going to add another one to the win column, of course, for regulatory sanctioned racing. But how good would it feel to come out here right after you post something like that and show these guys that you're for real?
I mean, that would be big. I mean, obviously, to go ahead and show these guys that, hey, you know, I mean, I wasn't full of it when I said what I said. Obviously, that's a big deal to go out there and call your shot. And not a lot of people can go out there at Bristol and call their shot, Bradley, and actually be able to make it work now. So Kevin, I mean, he's got a lot on his shoulders right now. Bristol, where it is just 100% so unpredictable, I guess you could say. So that wouldn't be really my take on that, but he's confident, and he's got a right to be confident. I mean, we talked about it. He's only had 3 starts this season. He's won 2 of them. So he's got a reason to be a little bit confident, but the problem is, you get overconfident, it can jump up and bite you real quick.
How many times have you gotten some of that modest or humble pie there and reset you back, kind of ride that mountain? It's a long way down, so you have to be careful to keep yourself humble in times like this. Here he is on the point, though. He'll have Daniel Monix right on the back bumper when we go back green flag racing on lap 16. 12 car, Trenton Wilkin picks up a couple more there on that short stint. A little bit of speed in this Cedar Point 12. Keep an eye on him. Clemson back on the outside here for this restart. Let's see if he can reclaim the position he began this race in. Pace car out of the way. Into the restart zone for the 3rd time. Green flag is out. We're back live and racing. All-Star night at Bristol.
Here we go, and now Kevin West able to get out to a pretty good lead. Allen up on the top side, Monix down on the bottom. Wow, where was Allen going? Allen may have thought about trying to go to the inside, but he can't do it. Monix down on the bottom.
Oh,
Allen and Monix, they make contact. Monix has to get out of the gas. That's going to open the door for Trent Wilkin, and here comes his teammate Ronnie Joyner on the outside. Wow, that could have been big-time detrimental for Daniel Monix and Brent Allen, both of them. But they was able to both save it. That's normal. That's normal, but this isn't normal. Now we got another caution.
And it's a big pileup back here.
Big old pileup. Yes,
Reed
sir.
Sanders, looks like the 8 of Austin Downey also around. Morgan Cook gets a big piece of it. Burned the fast repair. He looks done for the day. Take it back here on the instant replay and figure out how this started.
Yeah, I mean, it really all started once again with Derek McMurtry in the 48. He was trying to get around his teammate, Frank Walsh, in the 54. You'll see it right here. McMurtry's going to end up getting a run right there, and then he just kind of comes up just a little bit, ends up getting into Frank, and then Morgan gets into it. Sanders, once again, in the 4, he's going to get caught up in this once again as well. A couple other drivers getting caught up, but that's just a case of just close quarter racing. I mean, I'm not 100% sure if Frank actually came down into 48, or if 48, yeah, actually Frank was coming down the racetrack, so he kind of got into the right rear of Derek McMurtry and sends him around, and then all hell ends up breaking loose, and McMurtry's just along for the ride. I don't know how all of them did not hit him. McMurtry is very, very lucky that he didn't just get straight up clobbered by the 10 and the 8 by Clay Nelson and Austin Downey. They were hauling the mail sideways, fixing to come in there and just absolutely obliterate Derek McMurtry. But he got really, really lucky to get what he got out of that.
So 2 cars out of the race, Reed Sanders, Morgan Cook parking it behind the wall. Tough breaks for those drivers, and, you know, just put it on the kind of the staple of what Bristol can produce, especially early on in this race. And now with the situation, some of these cars are going to be damaged. Now you got to look out for lap traffic. If you're Kevin West, Brent Allen, you're probably going to catch some of these guys that are going to be a little off the speed with the 54 Walsh. Derek McMurtry, obviously heavy damage on the back end of that machine. He came down and got a fast repair. Thankfully, he didn't have to burn that the first time. He got spun there, got loose. But it's been the Kevin West show so far, 21 laps in. He took over the point right on lap 2 and hasn't looked back since.
No, I mean, it really hasn't. And, you know, these cautions are really actually helping him out, Bradley, because obviously, you know, it's been well documented throughout the broadcast, excuse me, so far, that, you know, Kevin West obviously put that post on TikTok. It fired up everybody from Venom Motorsports. These cautions is helping him out big time, because this is actually kind of a crutch, I guess you could say, to Ronnie Joyner, Molnix, all those guys, because they're not able to go up there and race against him right now with these caution laps. It's just extra laps for him, extra points, if you want to put it to that point, because we already talked about it. He's 100 points back from Molnix, who is the points leader. So, I mean, this is what Kevin West needs. Kevin West needs to have these little bit, I guess you could say a caution, just to try to make sure that one stays up there. But I'll tell you this much, when he fires off, he's gone.
Yeah, and the one, of course, you know, not a points night tonight, so laps led and all that jazz, all the extra that you would normally worry about. It is good practice to continuously do this, but for this race, it's who leads the last one, right? So when you come down to the very end of it, we're going to go single file, and this is where you find out what you're made of, because now that we can see a dive to the inside by the 13, let's ride on board here with the number 13 of Brent Allen. Green flag is out.
Riding on board there, you see you got the virtual camera right there with Brent Allen. Wasn't able to get the start that he wanted. Kevin West able to fire off and get gone. Here comes Allen. He tries to see if he can jump up, and check out the line he is using. Trying to run the top side, trying to see if he can get the run off of the corner. So you got to be careful when you're up there on that top side. You can really, really get loose, and the back end can't step out from under you. Check it out. Now he's starting to get a little bit of pressure. How about Trenton Wilkin? How about Trenton Wilkin? Done a fantastic job. Now they got a little bit of contact. Allen keeps getting off of the corner and keeps tail slapping guys that's on his inside. He almost would have done it if Trenton would have been there. But I'm telling you, Wilkin has been one of those guys that we really, really need to keep our eye on, Bradley, because he was able to finish in the top 3 2 weeks ago at Sonoma. So Wilkin knows how to do it on the road courses, and he also is showing how to do it here at the short track here at Bristol.
Driving it really low on the bottom, hugging that line right there between that asphalt and concrete transition. You'll have to be careful not to tag that apron. Really upsets this machine, but occasionally later in the run, if we get some green flag racing in here, you'll see guys go down and tag that apron, Jake, and sometimes it'll help that car rotate a little better, as Ronnie Joyner really sends it into, I believe that was turn 2.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to figure out a way to try to get around both of these guys, and he knows that up there in the lead is Kevin West. Obviously, all of that going on. He wants to try to get up here and basically try to put a stop to all that nonsense is what Ronnie Jordan's thinking. Wow, well,
shut the door.
Really? Well, he didn't shut the door. I mean, well, he shut the door, but I'm telling you right now, he didn't shut it. He slammed it right there on Ronnie Joyner. Joyner cut him a break right there. Could have really easily right rear hooked him. Joyner has showed the outside. Now he's going to get up to the outside. Battle for third. Wilkin on the bottom. Joyner up top. Joyner's going to get the run off of turn number 4. So put Ronnie Joyner up to third place right behind Brett Allen. Check it out. Don't look now. Here comes Galen Wunsch up here inside the top 5. He wants to go for 4.
So they're going to the outside in that 12, really burning up his stuff here, and a move to the inside for second position. Ronnie Joyner is already up 5 positions, started back in 8th, looking to take away the second spot as the 13 of Brent Allen struggles to keep that car tight off the exit. Scrubbing a lot of speed here for the 13.
Yeah, he's really trying to hold on to this as much as he possibly can. And believe it or not, with this battle going on with Joyner and Allen, it's really not letting Kevin West get away like I really thought it would. I mean, both of them's back there battling their hearts out right now for that second spot. And West is not really able to grow the gap, I guess you could say, Bradley. Usually we see that when guys are battling for that second position, the guy that's leading, he's able to just gas up and take off. Not the case at this point. West right in front of Allen, right in front of Joyner. Galen Wunsch, he's took over 4th. He kicked Trent Wilkin back, and Daniel Molnick's not too far right behind him. He's wanting to have a shot up here to get inside the top 5 and try to get a 1-2-3 deal up here, maybe with Beta Motorsports, but they're all still chasing Kevin West.
So the top 6 has pulled out for the rest of this field. We've got about 0.7 of a second back to 7th place driver Quentin Stewart, and then an additional 3.5 tenths back to the 15 of Joseph Terciano. It's a racing going on back here in 11th.
Yeah, we got a lot of it back here. There you see Stephen McGow. I know I called him McGowan a while ago, so I'm sure he's probably going to have some words with me after this for butchering his name, but sorry about that one, Stephen. But, well, yeah, well, I mean, sorry, Stephen. We'll try to fix it next time. That's all I know what to say. But I mean, good drive for Stephen, because if you think about it, he was the very first caution. Back end stepped out. He got loose. He was the very first caution on the very first lap. Good way to rebound, get up here and get yourself a top 10. Not too far ahead of him is Derek McMurtry. McMurtry's already went through a lot of crazy stuff here this evening so far as well. So, you know, McMurtry really trying to fight back and get back up here, at least where he started at, which is in the 4th spot. But this battle for the lead is heating up big time as Allen trying to think about going to the top side. He gets loose off of 4, able to dirt track it and save it. And they are catching a lap car. That is Clay Nelson in the 10. So there you see him right there in front of Kevin West. So Clay Nelson right here, he's the lap car. He's going to be the pick. We got to see if these guys are going to be able to try to maneuver around Clay Nelson.
The racetrack has cars all the way around it here, and it's very easy to do here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And lap traffic will continue to be a problem throughout the night, especially if we stay green. The 1 of West starting to maintain that gap a little bit here, Jake. We saw it sitting right around 0.3, and it hasn't shrunk down since. 13 of Brent Allen looks like he might be falling back a little bit. Ronnie Joyner going to put the moves on him here very soon.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to hurry up and do it really, really quick. Obviously, Joyner started in the 8th spot. Already moved himself up to 3rd. Literally, from what I can see, he is the biggest mover so far in the field. I don't see anybody else making that kind of move. As there you see Joyner really starting to get a little bit impatient up here with Brent Allen. Joyner really wanting to try to get around Allen. Allen is holding him up right now. Joyner really wanting to try to get around him. He's got to figure out a way. Other than that, we may end up seeing a bump and run for second, which I've seen it done, Bradley. I've seen the bump and run done. It's kind of early to do it, but hey, this is the all-star race. You got to go.
Yeah, and it looks like that bottom line just not able to complete a pass, and you see Joyner really sends it into the entrance of the corner. It's the product of a slide job as Kevin West goes around the 10 of Clay Nelson trying to navigate that. This could check him up a little bit here. Meets him at the bad spot of turn 4. but he does get around the Mountain Dew Chevy Camaro, and he'll move up to the outside line. Back here with Joyner, the 199, Galen Wunsch, and the 2 of Daniel Molnix to the outside. He's going to pick up the top 5 now. A lot of racing left to be done. We have 100 laps in the cross the stripe.
Absolutely. And one thing about this is, you know, Bradley, we wasn't really, I was expecting it. Everybody was really wanting to see a good long green flag run. And the one driver in the field that really wanted to see this was Daniel Molnix. I talked to him before the race. He said he had the best 25 lap average. He was the fastest out of everybody for 25 laps. He's already showing it after that little bit of contact he had earlier on with Brad Allen. He's already trying to work over his teammate right now, Galen Wunsch. Galen way up on the top side. Molnix got a huge head of steam on the bottom side. But now he's ran into a rolling roadblock with his teammate, Ronnie Joyner, right in front of him. Joyner's still having problems trying to get around that 13 of Brad Allen. Don't look now, Wilkin maybe trying to take it 3 wide back here. This is getting very good back here for that second spot.
Yeah, pretty much 5 cars involved here for this battle for second position. And if you're Brent Allen right now, you got a hornet's nest right on your back porch. You probably don't want to swing and miss. Make it count. Don't mess up.
Yeah, I mean, if he messes up, he's going to end up cleaning all of them out, all 5 of them, including himself. Joyner trying to figure something out, but now he's at a worse spot now. Now he's got Molnix down on the bottom that almost get into one another coming off of the corner. Molnix trying to work over Joyner. Wilkin right behind him. Wunsch right behind Joyner. And Brett Allen basically looking like a pace car right now. I mean, seriously, you got 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, all of them looking like they're running a pace ball formation. And Brad Allen, he is the pace car in front of them, just basically just straddling them. Now Joyner, he's going to get the run off of 4. Joyner sends it in hard. He may end up having to get a little bit rough right here with Brent if he wants to be able to get the second spot.
He's going to have to do something because Kevin West is loving what he's seeing back here. Got a lot of lap traffic. Guys 3 wide coming off of 4. Offset now with Ronnie Joyner in the middle. Now more 3 wide with the 12 in the middle. Thankfully, he blinks out at the right time just to miss Ronnie Joyner there.
Oh, man, he got lucky
Still
with
3
that
wide.
one. Now we're going 3 wide. Wilkin, oh, it's going to get good. Wilkin has to get out of the gas. They're trying to get around the lap car of Mike Patron. And Patron way up top. Wilkin still blinking. You know, that's got to throw Molnix for a little bit of a curveball. But they're still working it. 3 wide, Wilkin in the middle. Molnix still don't know if he's up there or not. Holy hell, this is some intense racing right here in Bristol. And Kevin West has opened up to a 3-second lead now over Allen, Joyner, Molnix, and Wilkin.
Oh, there he is. He's around. There's the 12. I think they'd had enough of him blinking. And that's going to bring out another yellow.
Well, I mean, once you blink enough times, I mean, you don't know if they're going to be there or not. And, I mean, Molnix, he didn't know if he was going to be there or not, and he just ended up just driving up a little bit and got into him. We'll check it out on the instant replay. May be hard to tell if Molnix actually got into him or not, just how much Wilkin was blinking. You'll see it right here in just a second. You'll end up seeing Wilkin end up blinking right here when they go into 3. There he goes. He blinks out. He blinks about 3 times at one time. And, I mean, that's just incidental contact. I mean, that's just short track racing right there. Molnix probably didn't even know that he was really there because, Bradley, I mean, we're just seeing what we see with him blinking. He could be blinking a whole lot worse on Molnix's screen. So, I mean, hate to see that, but that's just short track racing. But now here we go. Leaders going into the pits.
You know, the situation there with the different connections, and sometimes drivers will actually blink out and not see the rest of the field and drive through them, still have contact, and that could have been a case where they couldn't see him. He was still counting as a car on the racetrack. Hopefully the 12 can get back up here into the top 5. So that was some good racing. You don't see 3 wide pan out too well at Bristol very often, but those guys did it consistently for about 3 laps.
Yeah, that's some pretty good stuff right there. I mean, honestly, I don't even think you could get that on cable TV, to be honest with you, Bradley. I mean, that's awesome to see these guys be able to make this work. And one thing I do want to mention to the fine folks at home about this right here, you saw them all go down pit road on the backstretch, and they have to come all the way around. Well, there's different configurations.
Ooh, what a race off pit road there.
Wow, yes, awesome race off of pit road, and Ronnie Joyner able to get that spot and be able to get to second. But, I mean, as far as this, you know, we'll check out the instant replay. There you see Joyner able to get a pretty good launch out of the pits. And just barely is going to be able to edge out Monix and Allen. But the thing I was talking about, Bradley, was, you know, different configurations here with this track. We was talking about it earlier with single pit road, dual pit road, however you want to look at it. This is the single pit road configuration, meaning that they have to go down the back stretch pits to be able to go into the front stretch pits. If it was dual, then they just go down whichever pit road that their pit box was going to be at, which would have dual entries or 2 entries. This one's got a single entry, so that's why they got to go down the back stretch to be able to go around to get inside their pit box.
So normally under green flag conditions, that can get a little confusing. Thankfully, we have a limited car count here tonight. Backstretch pit road, pretty much useless here, but it is mandatory that you come down. Very easy to make a mistake. I've been there on the backstretch of pit road and forgot that, you know, it's a single pit road, merge back out on the racetrack, get a black flag. You have to be careful and keep that mindset that you can't pit on the front stretch if your pit box is out there, and a lot of mistakes can be had. We're going to double back up now. Looked like they had a good enough green flag run. The race stewards are allowing them back double file. This is about to get really good because now you've got Monix on the back bumper of the 13. Let's see if Ronnie Joyner can make quick work of the 13 on this restart. Pace car going to get out of the way.
Yeah, and honestly, I really thought that Ronnie was able to beat both Allen and Monix out, but wasn't able to do it this time. Green flag in the air. Now Joyner, he's going to be on the bottom. Kevin West trying to see if he can go ahead and check out. Joyner, Monix, both of them battling for third. Monix is going to be able to get the upper hand. Allen may end up having a shot trying to go to the lead. Monix has got to get around Allen if he wants to have any shot right here. And Kevin West may end up putting the bumper to him. You never know what's going to happen out of this right here. But Monix wants this up here. Obviously, number points, like you talked about, Bradley. He wants to be able to make a statement. Obviously, with all the social media stuff that's been going on here this past week.
Shut the door on the 13. Brent Allen went to the outside, had a good run out of turn 2. Here he goes out of 4 to the outside. Now again, West. He's probably going to take the lead over. He does.
Wow, Brent Allen able to get the lead. Kevin West going to go back to second. Brent Allen in the Clemson colors in the number 13, able to get around him. He will get clear. So new leader at the front of the field. That is Brent Allen in the number 3. Started on the pole. Basically 1, 2, 3 like they started right here with Brent Allen, Kevin West, and Daniel Monix. Ronnie Joyner, he's now jumped back up here. He's climbed up here to the back bumper of Daniel Monix, trying to see if he can go for third. But Brent Allen able to put the power move on Kevin West and take the lead here at the All-Star race at Bristol.
Got to do it early. That's when the tires count the most here at this concrete surface. Very abrasive. 30-degree of banking will roast those right side tires right off. So you have to take it while you got it. He was able to get it on the outside. Now everyone down on the bottom, but very loose out of 4. Here comes West again to poke for the lead.
Yeah, but we've already seen guys that was able to be on the top side, able to get the run. And that's exactly what Allen was able to do. Now Monix all over the back bumper. Almost got into the back bumper of Kevin West. Now it's going to get a little bit rough right here for Kevin West. He's got Benham Motorsports lined up right behind him. Monix and Joyner. Allen trying to get away. Monix giving West all he can handle. Trying to play some mind games with him, if you will, right behind him. But still, both these guys trying to keep it straight, trying to play mind games. One another. Monix is going to go around, and Joyner's going to get into it. Caution on the speedway.
Big wreck on the front stretch. That's a big one right there. That's probably going to take out about 6 or 7 cars. Quite a few guys that had already burned the fast repair involved in that. The 48 got a piece of it. Looked like the 83 slid down. The 60 of Mike Petrin. Somebody else got a heavy piece of that. I think it was Terciano in the 15.
That's unfortunate to see right there, Bradley. I saw it coming for just a little bit. I saw Mornings getting a little bit loose. You'll see him actually gets a little bit loose right there in 3 and 4, or excuse me, in 1 and 2. And then the back end just ends up coming around. He gets into the right side of Joyner. Hard
Wow.
contact right here by a couple of guys back here. I believe that was Terciano that ended up getting into Mornings, just straight up T-boned him. But you saw Galen Wunsch also get involved, as well as Derek McMurtry. A lot of innocent bystanders at the morning. There you saw him. I mean, he just snapped for a minute and then tried to correct it. I think he might have overcorrected. Back end comes around, and then everybody just piles straight in to Daniel Mornings, which is basically a barricade, if you will, right there coming off of turn number 2. Now look at his wheel.
Yeah, he's already slingshotting it there in the entrance of the corner as soon as he stepped on that throttle. Hey, somebody's sneaking through there. Quentin Stewart, how about that, the 24? Let's go on board with that machine right quick. I know we're on pit road here, but watch on board.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a pretty good ride right here, I guess you could say, for Quentin Stewart. I mean, he's going to see literally everything just develop right here in front of him. There you see Galen and everything. Wow! It's like the seas parted for him, Bradley. He was able to just slide right through there. I'm telling you, he must have a golden horseshoe right there in that number 24 machine to be able to get him through that right there, because that's just, I mean, that's stuff you don't see normally, Bradley. I mean, you end up seeing guys that are behind that wreck. If they don't end up just jamming on the brakes and just letting it develop, 9 times out of 10, they end up getting involved in it. But Quentin Stewart, he just said, you know what? Let's chance it, and gambled on it. He was able to gamble on it, sent him all the way right through it.
Well, Jake, I think there's a force field there. That's the QSR CEO. So they know better than to hit that car. I think they would probably trash their own day into the outside wall before they try to hit that 24. So smart move on whatever chaos we had there on lap number 78. And unfortunately, that put the 2 back to 8th position. Molnick's gonna burn that fast repair, and so the top 5 changes hands again. And look who's back up here in 4th, Trenton Wilkin. Hopefully that connection's cleared up. The top 5, Quentin Stewart rounding it out.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he's able to get it lined up. Hopefully everything is in tip-top shape on his internet. Obviously, I've had internet issues, Bradley. I'm sure you've had them as well. With just stuff blinking. Maybe not, because I just saw him blink out there for a second. So, you know, obviously that's going to be in the back of some of these guys' minds with all this going on with him blinking and everything. Yes, I'm sure they've already probably keyed up to the boss man, Mr. Quentin Stewart, about all this deal that's going on right here. So, hopefully they can keep it straight right here, keep it clean. But got a new leader up here, Derek McMurtry. He stays out. The rest of them don't. See how this plays out for him.
5 laps on the stint here for the 48 car, and probably 2 laps under green for the 48. Let's see what he's got as the pace car gets out of the way. Britton Allen, your pole sitter, on the outside. Green flag is out. We're back live and racing into turn 1.
Archie's able to get away. We actually got one way back there in the back.
83
pulled off. It was the 83 is Stephen McGow. So he's going to be able to pull off the racetrack. But here we go, battle for the lead. Derek McMurtry down on the bottom. Here comes Allen. Here comes Wilkin. Trenton Wilkin trying to go up here and maybe snatch the lead. He's going to go all the way to 2nd. Kick Kevin West back to 4th with McMurtry down on the bottom, still fighting. They make contact. Wilkin goes around, and West ends up getting a piece of it. Caution on the speedway again.
And it looks like Molnick's also involved again. And a front end missing on somebody's car. Rolling down off of the turn, banking, and that's going to bring out another yellow. This one been a little out of the ordinary. I think we've had more cautions in this race single-handedly than all the other races combined here in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, but that's short track racing, honestly, Bradley. I mean, that's normal, I guess you could say, for more incidents to happen than it would be on a 1.5 mile, because everybody's so tight, everybody's so close. Check it out right here on the instant replay. There you see McMurtry up here battling with Brent Allen. He just loses it. I mean, there's no other way to really look at it. I mean, the back end just kind of comes out. He ends up sliding up right there. I mean, well, actually, the front end may have just come out from under him. He just slides straight up, gets into Wilkin, goes around. Kevin West also does get little bit of a piece out of this, but I'm not sure exactly how Monix ended up getting involved in all this right here. I'm not sure how all this played out for him. We'll check it out right here, see what happened to Monix. And yeah, actually it was the 15 just kind of came down right there and bounced it off the wall, came right down into it.
Yeah, and a couple of these cars in front had actually, it looked like they maybe all F4, yeah, that 48, but 15 had locked up the brakes already, anticipating that he was going to hit that. And unfortunately, Monix gets another piece of it. Terciano's front end completely gone. He's already burned that fast repair here today. Everybody back down pit road to get some of this damage repaired, but Brent Allen able to take the lead back over from the 48 before that yellow flies. So far, we've had about 3-4 lead changes. Recap up on the screen. It's actually been 6 across the board here tonight with our 6 cautions on lap 87. Past the halfway point here, live from Bristol. You're watching QSR. The All-Star Race will continue. More coverage after this.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Back here live from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Your pole sitter, Brent Allen, takes back over the lead, but he's at his challenge here from the one of Kevin West. These guys have dueled back and forth. Let's find out who has the last word with about 60 laps to go.
Allen able to go ahead and get the first word out of that conversation, able to get a pretty good jump right there. Wow, that was a lap car down there on the bottom. I believe that was Frank Walsh, able to steer clear, jump out of the way. Then everybody ease on by. Brent Allen able to get by clear. Everybody able to get by clear. Kevin West got second right behind him. Ronnie Joyner in the 00. And obviously, this is the battle that we was wanting to see. We wanted to see it for the lead. I got a feeling we probably will here later on. But this is the one right here that we wanted to see. The comments from Kevin West and Joyner. We'll get to it in a minute. Yellow. Caution again.
Not sure if Frank Walsh maybe lost it here. Let's go back on the instant replay. Looks like Frank Walsh is coming down pit road here. Not exactly sure where this came out.
This might be one of them phantom cautions that you would usually see on NASCAR Thunder 2004. Remember where your hood would fly off of the car or whatever? Yeah. I mean, you ever remember that? Yeah, I mean, this may be what it was. I mean, I'm not 100% sure where this happened. I'm looking all over the place, and I don't see anything really crazy going on, as far as I can tell. I mean, I really don't see it. I mean, the only thing I could think of was maybe Frank actually. Oh, Frank! I think Frank stops on the track. If you watch, Frank actually comes out of the pits, and I think he stops. You'll see it right here. Eventually, he did stop out on the racetrack, and I don't know if that ended up being the cause of the caution. But when he went down pit road, he went through the pits, he got his car serviced, and then he stopped right there at the exit pit road. Maybe that's what brought the caution out.
Hard to tell here. iRacing timing and scoring can do some strange things here on the service, but I'll tell you right now, if you're the 13, you want them to keep happening. Kevin West won't have an opportunity to pass you if you don't have any green flag laps.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the cool thing about it, I guess you could say, is Kevin West was he was the beneficiary of all that was going on earlier. He was able to lead all those laps. Granted, we talked about it, points don't matter, but he was able to stay up front and have a shot on the restarts, because we've seen the leader just absolutely gone on these restarts. He just gasses up and he's out of there. So Kevin West, he was the beneficiary of all that earlier on. Now, Brent Allen, he's the beneficiary out of that. So he's going to be able to be the one to get the fire off, take off right off the bat. But Allen's got to watch his back bumper. We got some new players up here at the front of the field. Got Kevin West in second. He's been up there the whole time. Joyner, obviously, he had that late charge, or early charge rather, able to get up there to third. Quentin Stewart up here in fourth. Daniel Monix in fifth. But how about sitting in sixth? Mike Petrin in the 60. How about this right here from Mike Petrin, able to get up here and show him how to get it done for another part of the Venom Motorsports stable. Mike's not the best at short tracks. I've actually talked to him and raced with him a little bit on the short tracks, but this right here has got to be a confidence booster right here for Mike Petrin to be up here, possibly looking for a top 5 here tonight.
So doubling back up. The lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go back to racing at lap 98. Just over 50 to go when that pace car peels off. And right now you're just thinking, how can I time it against Brent Allen? Stay with him to the outside. If you're Kevin West, you have a good opportunity to carry that momentum into turn 1 and maybe complete a pass down the backstretch. Let's find out if he can do it. Nope. Allen's not going to let him have that opportunity. Green flag back out. Here comes Ronnie Joyner for second.
Joyner down on the bottom, West up top. Here we go. Joyner tries to keep it down on the bottom, tries to make sure that he's still there. He's able to do it. As both of them going to race their hearts out right now for second. West able to get the advantage and get clear up on the top side. West sends it in very hard, almost went up and tank slapped it, if you will, up into the outside rotated wall. Now West going to put some pressure on Brent Allen. Allen trying to see if he can go wherever West is. Maybe try to put the block on him. West tried to send it, lost the front end, lost the back end. He lost the whole damn car right there. Almost ended up losing it right there in front of the whole field. And that's going to open the door for Ronnie Joyner down on the bottom. Brent Allen still trying to get away.
Opening up the door here. Ronnie not able to complete the pass, but if the one makes another mistake like he just did there trying to get around the 13, Brent Allen, there he is, another one. He's getting loose coming out of 4. Ronnie Joyner backs off the throttle, does not want anything to do with that right now. However, this is allowing the leader, like we saw earlier in this race, to pull away.
Yeah, Allen's really starting to put down some pretty good lap times right now. Joyner back here hitting a 14.9. Allen up here, he's hitting 14.9s as well, but he's being more consistent, I guess you could say, with how he's entering the corner, how he's able to put the throttle down. West back here, he's all over the place. Kevin West is sideways each and every bit that he possibly can, try to get that car straight. He's just not able to do it. Joyner putting the pressure on him. Stewart putting the pressure on Joyner. Galen Wunsch, he's jumped up here inside the top 5. He's trying to put the pressure on Stewart. Riding on board with Stewart. Check him out. He's got the whole rig going right there. Got it all decked out. Looks like he's pretty comfortable right now as far as that driver cam shows right there, Bradley. Looks like he's comfortable, but I guarantee you this. He's not comfortable.
Working hard.
He is working his tail off right now.
Yeah, working very hard to keep that car in this position. Started back in the 9th spot here today. Up 5 and just inside that top 5. He's still got a lot of work to do, but it can be done here. QSR CEO trying to get away from the 199 of Galen Wunsch and trying to get around the 00 of Ronnie Joyner. Kevin West looks like he's got it back underneath of him, but no avail here. Kind of went stagnant here in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really able to do much right here. They're able to get around the lap car. of Joseph Terciano. Terciano way up the racetrack. Galen's going to be able to go around him. So will Daniel right behind them. Petrin up here trying to see if he can hold on to at least 7 and salvage out of what will be a great night for that number 60. Kevin West, he's up on the back bumper. He's getting a little close right here to Brett Allen as you see the side-by-side battle with Wunsch and Stewart. West up here trying to get going. There's the battle. Galen and Quentin, both of them going at it here at Bristol. Wunsch wants it. Stewart wants to try to take it back.
And the 199 gets a little bit loose there out of the exit of the corner. Slides up, doesn't make contact. They're going to hold it together through 1 and 2. Stewart has that preferred line to get the run, but the 199 is very tough down on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, both of them basically racing each other to death right
Contact.
now. What they're doing, yeah, there is contact. Wunsch trying to get clear. May end up trying to use him up a little bit to go ahead and just get clear. And don't look now. Here comes Daniel Monix. He's going to see if he can take a shot, maybe get around Stewart. But up front, here we go. Battle for the lead. Kevin West down on the bottom side. Allen able to get clear. Lap car right in front of him. Jordan tries to send it. It tries to get to the top side of West. Not able to do it. Throw a blanket over all 3 of them. Allen, West, and Jordan trying to win it here tonight at Bristol.
And less than 50 to go. We're sitting right at 45 when they cross the stripe. The 13 has a mirror full of Kevin West. Ronnie Joyner there to pounce in case he makes a mistake. 13 of Brent Allen started on the pole. He's led about an equal amount of laps to Kevin West, but it's not for points. It's for the victory. Lead that last one on the outside. Offset 3 wide out of 4.
If you ain't first, you're last. That's exactly what these 3 drivers right here, Allen, West, and Joyner, is saying right now in their head. They want to try to get up here and get the win. Joyner able to get to the outside of Kevin West. West was on the inside of Allen. Joyner's going to try to stick it 3 wide. They door bang coming into turn 1 and 2. Joyner still has the top side. Going to try to see if they can get the run coming off of turn 4. West down there on the bottom. Joyner maybe end up trying to pinch him down there and maybe not give him an exit. But Allen not able to get away as of yet. And Joyner's going to get into West. West goes around, head on into the wall. Monix gets into it. West up and over. Caution on the speedway.
Monix is done. That car is obliterated. The whole front end explodes on the back of turn 3. And that's going to do it for Daniel Monix here tonight. Kevin West end over end. I believe that car left the ground for the vast majority of the backstretch there.
Yeah, I mean, and from what I saw, honestly, Bradley, I mean, it looked like Kevin come up. And we'll have to look at it right here from an instant replay, but it looks like Kevin does come up a little bit. I mean, Joyner maybe came down a little bit. Both of them might have met in the middle. Obviously, there is beef right there between both of those guys that's going on right now. I don't think nothing was deliberate right there, but Joyner, I mean, he just kind of ran his line and just maybe pinched him down a little bit. West just comes up and gets into his door, and then West just ends up losing it. So, I mean, it's hard to put anybody at fault right there. I mean, you know, I say it all the time. That's just short track racing right there is what that is right there. A little bit of door banging, a little bit of roughing up. I mean, that's just short track racing, in my opinion, Brandon.
On board with the 2, you're going to get a loud one here. Nowhere to go.
Oh, boom. That's it. I mean, and I got a feeling Monix is going to end up having some nightmares. There you saw the black smoke just pop right there. That's going to blow the engine. And Monix's night will come to a screeching halt here tonight. Obviously, we talked about it. No points on the line. But still bragging rights, I guess you could say, for the season. So he ain't got to worry about losing any points here tonight at Bristol. May lose a little bit of pride, I guess you could say, as we do have a race off of pit road. Not sure if Joyner got it, but it was close. But I do think Brett Allen ended up beating him out. Looks like Galen Wunsch is going to come out 3rd. And how about this? Joseph Terciano showing 4th by my timing and scoring. May have actually stayed out for an extra lap, so that's actually going to give Quentin Stewart up to 4th.
Yeah, 15 heavy front end damage, and so comes back down pit road. He had stayed out to, I believe he had missed pit entry. He'll fall back out of this top 5. It's Brent Allen, Ronnie Joyner. Another one bites the dust here. Kevin West. He's getting that damage repaired, but it looks like a big meatball flag for both the 1 and the 2, 10th and 11th position. We're running out of cars here. Jake, I'd have to say that we'll probably settle down for the next 30.
I don't know about that now, Bradley. I mean, this is the All-Star race. I mean, obviously, there's probably going to be some hurt feelings when it's all said and done. But I mean, you want to win it, and you know, if you're going to try to rough somebody up, even a teammate, if it came down to that point, this is the perfect time to do it right here. There's no points on the line. All you're going to end up doing is hurting somebody's feelings. You're not going to hurt their title hopes here in this All-Star race. So I don't think we've seen the last caution. I hope I'm wrong, but I really don't think we've seen the last caution.
Side by side, 2 by 2, back to the 60 of Mike Petrin. Clay Nelson, Joseph Terciano, 7th and 8th position. A little single file back there for the guys that are getting some of that damage repaired. Kevin West back out on the racetrack, going to try to salvage the day. But here goes the 13 for what could be the final restart. Green flag is out. We're back live and racing for the All-Star event. Into turn 1, the 13 already closing doors.
Yeah, he already jumped up and wanted to go up there to the top side. That's where he loves to run. Brett Allen in the Clemson colors, trying to hold off Ronnie Joyner and Galen Wunsch. Wunsch may not even have to worry about trying to go for the lead. He may have to end up watching his back bumper. Quentin Stewart really putting some pressure. And now Joyner going to try to put some pressure on Brett Allen. Allen up here at the front. Joyner tries and wants it. And he is running out of time. 25 laps to go. Is Joyner going to be able to win this thing? Or is Brett Allen going to win it all the way from the pole?
Riding on board with the 13 car, mirror full back there as you look off the rear end of this machine. Brett Allen's got his work cut out for him. Nobody's been able to really complete the pass. He's been really good at defense. However, he is about a 10th off here in the long run. This could be a recipe for disaster. He might need another yellow here to seal the deal.
Yeah, we'll see what happens right here. I mean, Joyner's really starting to put more and more and more pressure on Brett Allen. Gonna take it down to the inside. Allen up top. Joyner down on the bottom, steps out just a little bit, trying to hold that car down on the bottom. Allen able to get the run, almost got into the fence. Both of them got a little sideways coming off of the corner. Now Joyner gonna have to regroup, have to find some momentum and find just a little bit of luck. I think he's gonna need a little bit of luck out of that, or he's gonna need a hard front bumper if he wants to be able to find a way to get around Brett Allen and get this all-star win.
20 laps to go when they cross the stripe now. Ronnie Joyner, who's been trying to hunt for that lead all race long, has not been able to find it. He has 0 laps led, but if he could just lead the last one, that's all he needs to do here today. Peeks to the outside, a little bit higher line through 3 and 4. The 199 of Galen Wunsch is starting to catch up to both these cars, and you know it's about to get interesting. 3-way battle on the horizon.
Yeah, I mean, this is fixing to get good, and it may end up being a 4-horse race when this thing's all said and done. Quentin Stewart not too far behind back there, less than a second. This is literally your race for the win and for the lead and for the win right here, because 5th place Clay Nelson, he's back about 2.5 seconds back from Brett Allen and all these other guys. So this is your 4-horse race right here. Quentin Stewart may be in a pretty good spot right here. If Joyner and Allen and Wunsch end up getting into it, Quentin Stewart may be able to drive right by all of them and take the lead and possibly the win. But obviously, we know Allen wants to get this win. We'll see if Joyner is going to be able to get to him. Thought about it for a second. Keeps on working that top side. Keeps on wanting to try to get down to the inside. I think Joyner wants this outside pretty bad. But, I mean, Allen's just doing a fantastic job being able to hold him off.
Yeah, and that's defensive driving 101. You take away the line, you know he's stronger on the outside, but if you can keep him from getting that pass, get that nose out, you can protect that bottom, pinch him down into the corners. Don't let him run the line on the exits. That's why it's so frustrating. The tippers that we talked about pre-race, that's where they start to boil over, because 6, 7, 8 laps, you try to pass a guy, eventually you just run out of patience and you have to use the bumper.
Yeah, I mean, and that's normal, really, for short track racing, as patience ends up wearing out. And if you want it bad enough and you want to take it, then sometimes you got to do desperate things. But I'm not 100% if Ronnie Joyner really wants to put the bumper to him or not. We'll see if Joyner does decide to do that to Brett Allen. I will say this, clock's ticking on Mr. Joyner. If he wants him, he's going to have to go up there and get him. And he's going to have to do it right here and now. Coming this time, 11 laps to go. If he wants him, he's got to go up there and he's got to take him.
Don't want to take it too early, though. You got to be careful because that 13 can find himself right back on the rear bumper. I feel like Joyner gets clear of this 13. He probably could get away from him. Just that, taking that line away, lap after lap. 10 to go here at the stripe.
Yeah, but Joyner and Allen really running basically the same line right now, Bradley. Both of them. Well, actually, all three of them, if you put Galen Wunsch in it. Quentin Stewart, he's actually fell back. He's fell back to a second and a half off the pace. So right now, it's a three-horse race right now. Joyner, Allen, Wunsch. Joyner gonna send it on the bottom. May end up trying to push him up the racetrack. Not able to do it. Allen able to get the run off of the top side. Joyner needs to get to the top if he wants to have any shot at getting to Allen. Either that, or maybe try to push him up the racetrack. Maybe tag him in the left rear. Joyner almost got into Allen, but Allen may end up getting the run off of the corner. Allen gets clear once again, but Joyner's still fighting hard on the inside.
Holding it neck and neck here on the bottom. We haven't seen this all race long. Not able to complete the pass, so another good defensive strategy for the 13. Back to the playbook now for the 00. Joyner trying to get around Brett Allen for about 145 laps. Here's the bumper on the back end into 3.
We're coming to the Kellogg's number 5 laps to go. Is Joyner gonna end up using the bumper? Is he gonna try to find a way? They worked their way around Joseph Terciano. Wunsch still behind Joyner, waiting and waiting. Joyner's gonna get a run. He's gonna take it down to the inside. Allen up on the top, not able to get there, and Allen's gonna be able to get the run off of the corner. Joyner's still trying to work the bottom. There is room down there. There is a way to make the pass, but he's got to be able to send it right here and maybe try to pull the slider up in front of Brett Allen.
Using every inch of the racetrack here as they exit turn 4, side by side. That time by, Joyner gets his first lap led. All he has to do is replicate it for the final lap. 2 to go when they come around this time. A little door banging in as they go into 1. That's not going to do it well for the 13. Off of turn 4. It's going to be Ronnie Joyner for the last 2 laps.
Joyner still has the lead, but it's not over yet. Here comes his teammate, Galen Wunsch. Allen has went back to 3rd. Ronnie Joyner all by himself up here at the front, but Galen Wunsch starting to close in. White flag, last lap, bell lap. Joyner at the front, Galen starting to close in. It's going to be a Ronnie Galen show here at Bristol. Down into turn 3 and 4. Ronnie sends it in big time. Your winner, Ronnie Joyner, here at Bristol for the All-Star race. Galen Wunsch will get 2nd. Brett Allen gets 3rd. Quentin Stewart 4th. And Clay Nelson, who started 16th, he's going to end up finishing in the top 5. Hell of a race right there, Bradley.
Took that lead over with 2 laps to go. He led, 4 laps to go, I guess. He snuck a couple in there side by side with the 13. Now making sure that car passes tech inspection.
Yeah, I guess he needs it to pass tech by knocking the spoiler off of it or the whole damn back bumper off of it. But Ronnie Joyner ends up getting the win here tonight at Bristol. Wow, I mean, Bradley, that's hard racing right there. Some people may end up seeing a little bit of a door bang, I guess you could say, with Joyner and Allen. I thought it was a clean race. I mean, I think, Joyner, he done what he had to do to be able to get the win, and he was able to pull it off here tonight.
Let's go back here with the 00 machine. Here's the side-by-side for these last few laps. And we didn't really see it all race long. Anybody able to really complete a pass on the bottom, and outside defended really well. I think it was just a product of we had a long enough green flag run there that the 13 just ran out of right front tire.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I thought Joyner may have came up and door checked him a little bit, or door banged him if you want to put it that way, but he never touched him. I mean, Allen just sent it in. It's like you said, I think he just ran out of right front tire, sent it right up into the wall, and Joyner was able to save enough and then still had to race his teammate, Galen Wunsch, all the way down to the wire. And there you see all the way through the last lap, he's mirror driving, trying to keep it up top. Galen sends it in one time. Obviously, both of them are teammates, but Galen wants to try to get the win as well. Not able to do it tonight. Ronnie Joyner gets the win here in Bristol.
Post-race interviews with your top three. We'll have your all-star winner up here in the booth. Stick around here on QSR and Vspeed. More coverage continues at Bristol after this.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Back live from Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum, put on a great show. It was an epic duel between Brent Allen, Galen Wunsch, Ronnie Joyner. Well, I mean, you could add another list of names in there. Daniel Molnix, Kevin West, all some laps led up front. A number of guys up here today. And it came down to a lot of lead changes and a lot of cautions. A little out of the ordinary, but here's the final results. 7 lead changes here today with 8 cautions, 150 laps. Ronnie Joyner is victorious. He led the last 4 to complete the day. Galen Wunsch, his teammate, just behind him. They finished about a 10th apart. Brent Allen, who led the most laps here today with 80, has got to be frustrated, back to 3rd. Quentin Stewart's going to get a top 5 here today. He's going to finish 4th, coming all the way back from 9th position. And how about Clay Nelson, 17th position up to 5th. Mike Petrin is going to bring it home in 6th position with Spencer Johnson in 7th. Joseph Terciano, an up-and-down day, a heavily damaged car. He gets a top 10 out of it. Again, not for points here, but Kevin West, I mean, you put up that video, you better back it up. He finishes 9th here today, and he'll be 4 laps down. Rounding out that top 10 is Stephen McGough in the number 83.
And then we're going to go all the way. Yeah, I think you got it that time right there, buddy. Then we'll go to 11th. Obviously, there you see Daniel Molnix. Hate to see it for a points leader here for the QSR Xfinity Series. He's going to end up finishing 11th. Frank Walsh will end up finishing in the 12th spot. Derek McMurtry will end up finishing 13th. Wilkin will end up getting 14th with your buddy Morgan Cook will end up finishing 15th. Reed Sanders in 16th. Austin Dowdy will end up finishing 17th. And Jeremy Burns, he showed on the race results, but he never turned a lap. He ends up finishing 18th.
There's the final results here today. Now we're going to catch up with your podium finishers. 3rd place here, and oh man, it's going to be frustrating because when I go over on this graphic, he's the leader with about 7-8 laps to go. But the 13 car, Brent Allen, I mean, you got to be frustrated, but all in all, it was a fun race. You led a lot of laps. Had this been a points day, man, you would have came out pretty well. Clemson 13 was fast today.
Yeah, it was. Definitely disappointed, man. Trying to get this first win here in the series, and we had the car, that's for sure. We had, but Ronnie, man, he did an awesome job saving his car. He was really patient, so get hats off to him. Appreciate it, the clean racing, and I hope it looked good on the broadcast for sure.
Looked excellent, you guys, side by side. We hadn't seen a lot of passing on the bottom of the racetrack, and so I want to go back to those last about 7 laps. Did the front end start to just dig and come out from under you? It looked like you sent it into 3 and it just started to wash up the racetrack.
Yeah, pretty much the whole time through that battle, I was watching in the mirror, and I knew if I outdrove or overdrove the corner on the outside, that it was going to be over. He had a little bit more grip than I did on the inside, and I didn't feel like I ever overdrove it, but he made that middle stick. I gave him a middle lane, and he definitely found the hole and took it and made it stick.
And the defense that you had to play, you kind of mirror driving all night long, but it was a fight. Top 3, still admirable. Unfortunately, here today, it just doesn't, it doesn't mean much, it stings a little bit when you lead that many laps here, Brent.
Yeah, man, I wanted the shirt. I would have taken second, but it's all good.
Well, congrats, and we got you up on the camera. While we got you up here in the booth, is there anybody you'd like to shout out for tonight's performance in this race?
Yeah, certainly. So the through this whole series, I've had my brother and my mom and dad watching the races and broadcasts, and they're getting into actually watching the broadcast and enjoying it. So big shout out to them and enjoying them hanging out in the Discord with me and chatting and screaming and cheering, and it's been fun.
Well, excellent. Good to see that the family's in there, and hopefully we put on a good show for them here on Vspeed, and we appreciate you coming up here in the booth and chatting with us. We'll see you next week at Darlington.
Yeah, you'll see me. Probably not up here though.
Well, we'll see, man. That's the Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame. It's another hard track, and you were fast here, so good chance.
Yep. Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one.
There's your 3rd place finisher of the night. That is Brent Allen in the number 13. Working our way on down pit road, we have the 2nd place finisher. That's Galen Wunsch, and I believe we have Jake Reeves down there with him.
Absolutely, we got Galen Wunsch up here. And Galen, buddy, what a race! What a race right there! Able to get Venom Motorsports 1-2 right here in the All-Star race, buddy. Tell us about your race.
Oh, like you said, mostly just saving, being patient. They're pretty aggressive up there, so I was trying not to lose too much track position. So I was just chilling, but there were times I just had to go. Didn't seem like it was going to be hard to pass. I was just in line on the outside, and if had really good run and you really could make it stick, you might be able to get a pass. But you pretty much only had one shot at it before you ruined the tires.
And Galen, we talked about this. Obviously, this All-Star race, not necessarily for points per se, but this has got to give you a little bit of a, I guess you could say, a little bit of a confidence booster, I guess, going into Darlington next week.
Yeah, I do love short tracks. It's always been my favorite, short tracks and road courses. You know that. I'm not too good at the mile and a half though. For some reason, that's my nemesis.
Well, all righty, Galen. What's in the 199 with Venom Motorsports? And Galen, congratulations on that 2nd place finish. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs you want to give?
I'll give a shout out to my wife and daughters, Kim and Caitlin and Lauren. They put up with me putting in all these hours. So, and I was gonna bump Ronnie. I was trying to get to him, to make no mistake. But I didn't want to be too early at last lap or that last turn. I was like, he should still finish well if I accidentally hit him too hard. But you don't want to make a mistake.
Oh Lord.
But thanks anyway, you guys.
Galen Wunsch gets 2nd place there at the All-Star race. Galen, appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was Galen Wunsch. He's a character, Bradley. I will say that. But we got to bring up the man that apparently, I didn't know this. Apparently, the winner ends up getting a T-shirt. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and get the man right here that's going to get that T-shirt here tonight. which is Ronnie Joyner, the winner of the All-Star race. Ronnie, first off, congratulations on the win. Tell us about your race, buddy.
Thank you there, Rebus. It was a great race up front. Just like to say, great race in there to Brent and Galen up front and Kevin also. They were nice, good, clean racing up there for a little while. A lot of fun.
And I mean, Ronnie, I mean, we talked about this. Me and Bradley, we was talking about this basically all race long about this. I guess you could say this little bit of beef that's been going on between Venom Motorsports and Kevin West. I mean, here tonight in the All-Star race, obviously no points, bragging rights. This has got to be big right here to be able to get out here and get the win. And especially after some of the comments that Kevin West had after Kentucky last week.
I mean, we left it out here on the track tonight. We're not much about the talking stuff, but we love when people do talk. So hopefully this is a message to him, and hopefully he comes back and races hard like he always does.
Well, all righty, Ronnie Joyner ends up getting the win here tonight. Gets the T-shirt, the free T-shirt here for the QSR Xfinity Series. Ronnie, congratulations on the win. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout-outs that you want to give?
Yep, like to thank all the guys at Venom Motorsports. Thank Mike Petrin for the beautiful car tonight, and then like to shout out all the turkey hunters out there still chasing them. Don't give up, boys.
Yes, sir. All the hunters, deer hunters, turkey hunters, all the good stuff out there. All of them, even the bear hunters, even though they got to try not to get eat. But Ronnie, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win. And wear that T-shirt proud, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, there's your race winner, and he is the All-Star King at Bristol. He led the most important lap, and with all the lead changes we saw here tonight, Jake, it really boiled down to who had the tires at the end. It's good to see that kind of finish here at Bristol because it's not too often you see three wide and these guys racing as hard as they did. When you got prizes on the line, it changes the mentality.
Yeah, I mean, it always does. I mean, these guys right here in this QSR Xfinity Series, every single time, Bradley, that we come out here on Tuesday nights, even with me and Morgan, I mean, we see some of the best racing that I've ever seen in an Xfinity car with these guys. It's an absolute pleasure to watch these guys. But, I mean, folks at home, I mean, y'all got really what you asked for when you come out here and you watch short track racing. You got what you asked for here tonight. You got some wrecks, you got some door banging, you got some beef, if you want to put it that way. And then also, you got one hell of a finish. And, I mean, congratulations to every single one of the drivers, really, because, I mean, congratulations to Ronnie. Ronnie won the race, obviously, but congratulations to all the drivers because each and every one of them, even though Jeremy Burns, they didn't even pull a lap, every single one of them, they put on one hell of a show and give us something to talk about.
Schedule up on your screen next week, May 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the Lady in Black, Darlington, the track Too Tough to Tame. Will be in South Carolina for the QSR Xfinity Series. If you're still hungry for some track racing, well, Vspeed's got it. We're live for BTDY and Overtake iRacing League. They're in their playoffs right now in the Xfinity Series, so catch those as well here on Vspeed. But for everybody here that put this together, Ronnie Joyner, Quentin Stewart, that made the Xfinity Series, my co-commentator of the night, Jacob Reeves, Eddie Smith, Adam Baker, Christian Hill, Morgan Cook, everybody that's a part of Vspeed and makes this all possible. This is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week. We'll see you tomorrow night.